very good afternoon. Welcome to Africa Today. I am Udwak Daniel. First, let's talk the headlines. And on the headlines, federal government approves establishment of 12 private universities. Still on the headlines, ex-President Kabore released from house arrest. Also on the headlines, EU court rules in favor of Mubarak family on assets freeze. And on sports, Super Falcons face Olympic champions Canada in 2 friendlies. And now the news in detail. Nigeria's Federal Executive Council, that is FEC, has approved the issuance of provisional licenses for the establishment of 12 private universities across the country. Minister of Information and Culture Lai Mohammed disclosed this to State House correspondents in Abuja at the end of the council meeting presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari on Wednesday. He said the affected universities would be located in Kano, Niger, Gombe, Sokoto, Delta, Abia, Anambra, and the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Abuja. Mohammed revealed that the Minister of State for Education, Chukwuemeka Nwajuba, presented the memo on behalf of the National Universities Commission, that is the NUC, and it was approved by the Cabinet. According to him, each of the new universities will be mentored by the old universities nearer to them. He argued that the establishment of additional universities for the over 200 million populated country was necessary if the policy of educating a larger percentage of youngsters was to succeed. And away from that story, the Senate has urged the Federal Ministry of Foreign Affairs to liaise with the Ghanaian government to strengthen bilateral relations between both countries to prevent the maltreatment of Nigerians entering Ghana. This is contained in the recommendations of the Senate after it considered a report by the Joint Committee on Health, Secondary and Tertiary, Primary and Communicable Diseases, Foreign Affairs at plenary on Wednesday. The chairman of the Joint Committee, Senator Yaya Oloriegbe, presented the report to the Senate. In his presentation, he recalled that the investigation was necessitated by allegations that the Ghanaian authorities diagnosed Nigerians who traveled to their country of testing positive for COVID-19 after testing negative in Nigeria. Still on matters concerning COVID, Nigeria has removed the limit on attendance of social gatherings and the curfew on midnight movements it announced 2 years ago to curb the spread of COVID-19. The Presidential Steering Committee, that is the PSC on COVID-19, set up by the government in early 2020, announced a review of the country's response to the pandemic in a statement. Consequently, no more restrictions on movement within the country as the nationwide curfew imposed from 12 midnight to 4 a.m. has been lifted. PSC said the social restriction recommendations were revised in line with the 3 established thematic areas: movement, industry, and labor, as well as community activities. The government explained that the decision followed the reduced risk of importation of new variants and the availability of vaccines, as well as increasing number of people vaccinated in Nigeria and globally. When we return, news from other parts of Africa. Stay with us. Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Reactions have begun to follow a military court ruling in Burkina Faso on Wednesday that handed down a life term to former President Blaise Compaoré over the 1987 assassination of revolutionary leader Thomas Sankara. Applause erupted in the courtroom as the long-awaited verdict was read out, bringing the curtain down on a case that has afflicted the impoverished and volatile state for 34 years. Thomas Sankara's widow, Mariam, was also present during the ruling. Miriam hailed the verdict as true justice. One of the prosecution lawyers, Prosper Farama, beamed with smile at the verdict, noting that justice has been done. The court also issued life terms to Isings Kafando, an officer suspected of having led the hit squad, and General Gilbert Diendere, an army commander at the time of the assassination, which coincided with a coup that brought Compaoré to power. 8 other accused were given jail terms ranging from 3 to 20 years, while 3 defendants were acquitted. And away from that, let's have you know that according to the country's interim government, Burkina Faso's former president Roch Kaboré, who had been under house arrest since he was toppled in a military coup in January, has been allowed to return to his family. The interim government said Kaboré was allowed to return to his residence in the capital Ouagadougou, adding that security measures would be installed to guarantee his safety. West African leaders last month asked the military government to free the ex-president and lay out a more acceptable timeline for a return to democracy than its current 36-month transition period, which was agreed upon internally after the coup. So far, the government has released pressure from the regional bloc economic community of West African states, that is ECOWAS, to hand over power in less than 3 years, saying its priority is to tackle insecurity across the country. We now move to other parts of Africa after this break. Stay with us. Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. You're watching Africa Today on Hills TV. Let's have you know that a Turkish court on Thursday confirmed the halt of the trial in absentia of 26 suspects linked to the killing of Saudi critic Jamal Khashoggi and its transfer to Riyadh, a decision that has angered rights groups. The 59-year-old journalist was killed inside the Saudi consulate in Istanbul on October 2, 2018, in a gruesome murder that shocked the world. The Turkish court began the trial in 2020 with relations tense between the two Sunni Muslim regional powers. The court's decision comes almost a week after Justice Minister Bekir Bozdagh said that he would greenlight a Turkish prosecutor's request to hand the case over to Saudi Arabia at the demand of the latter. The prosecutor said the case was dragging because the court's orders could not be carried since the defendants were foreigners. The defense lawyer Ali Ceylan told the court on Thursday that there would not be a fair trial in Saudi Arabia. Another defense lawyer, Gökmen Baspinar, denounced the Justice Ministry's move as against law. Moving away from that, the European Court of Justice ruled in favor of the family of the late Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak and confirmed the unfreezing of assets blocked over a decade ago. The European Union had made a decision in March last year to end sanctions it had imposed on Mubarak, his wife, 2 sons and their wives following Egypt's popular uprising in January 2011, which toppled his 30-year rule. The sanctions include the freeze on assets held in the EU and a ban on any citizens or entities from the 27-nation bloc making funding available to those on the blacklist. The measures were applied to assist the Egyptian authorities in recovering misappropriated state assets. But the ruling, however, indicated that the unnecessary prolongation of the measure could not be reasonably justified. In addition to granting the Mubarak family access to the funds, the court ordered the Council of the European Union to pay the costs incurred by the family. At this time, let's bring business to your eardrums. The federal government of Nigeria says it has concluded plans to give interest-free loans to 98,000 beneficiaries of its Government Enterprise and Empowerment Program 2.0 nationwide. The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadia Umar Farouk, disclosed this in a statement by her Special Assistant on Media, Nneka Anibeze, in Abuja on Wednesday. Umar Farouk said that this decision was reached following the final verification of Phase 1 applicants who qualified and were selected to benefit from small loans ranging from 50,000 naira to 300,000 naira. She further said that all the beneficiaries of the GEEP 2.0 would receive congratulatory and sensitization text messages in the coming days. According to Umar Farouk, the money given to the beneficiaries of the empowerment program is a loan and not a grant and must be repaid within 9 months, informing them of their qualification. The minister said that these farmers were provided with loans of 300,000 naira for farm inputs, adding that the scheme had 12 months, including 3 months moratorium and 9 months repayment period. In Nigeria, truckers have decried about 50% drop in cargoes coming into the country, sparking fears of a looming unemployment in the sector. In separate chats with correspondents, the group also lamented a 60% reduction in haulage fares, which according to them might also lead to insecurity in the area, as most of the affected truckers would always look for means of survival. Former chairman, Dry Cargo Section of the Nigerian Association of Road Transport Owners, Abdullahi Inuwa, said the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic were still affecting the sector till date. He also revealed that some talking points and policies from the Nigerian Customs Service are also affected importation. Inuwa said that apart from the federal government, the biggest employer of labor is transport sector, adding that a lot of people would be out of job due to drop in cargoes. Corroborating what he said, National President of the Association of Maritime Road Transport Owners, Remi Ogungbemi, blamed cargo diversion as the reason for the drop in cargoes coming into Nigeria. Also, the president of the Council for Maritime Truck Unions and Associations, Adeyinka Arowayon, who confirmed there was a 50% drop in cargo, blamed the high exchange rate as the reason for the crash. And now to Zimbabwe. The Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe on Wednesday said it was set to introduce a new 100 Zimbabwean dollar note, that is ZWL. This followed the instructions by the Finance and Economic Development Minister, Mthuli Ncube. The instructions were given by Ncube in a statutory instrument published in the Extraordinary Government's Gazette. This follows the introduction of a 50 ZWL note in July 2021. Still in the news, Kenya's energy supplier says it is losing millions of dollars a month due to the vandalism of its electric transformers for their fluid, which is sold as cooking oil. Kenya Power says criminals extract the fluid from the transformers, which is then sold by cartels to restaurants and roadside stalls for frying food. According to local media, the recent increase in vandalism has been linked to the rising cost of cooking oil, which has forced some businesses to turn to unorthodox methods to try and keep afloat. Health experts warn that transformer oil, which looks like cooking oil, is unsafe for human consumption and poses serious health issues. In a statement, the state-run company said there was a sharp increase in vandalism in central Kenya, where nearly 20 transformers had been destroyed or interfered with. Harrison Kamau, the company's business manager in Murang'a County, cited an incident where a vandal was electrocuted on top of a transformer while attempting to remove return fuses. Still to come on Africa Today is sports. Stay with us.
Good afternoon and welcome to Sport News on Africa Today. I am Ainan Lubem. No fewer than 60 athletes from Oyo State are expected to participate in the maiden National Para-Sports Games scheduled for Abuja between April 9 and April 18. Chairman of Oyo State Sports Council, Menga Adewusi, made this known in a statement issued on Wednesday. Adewusi stated that the event, which is organized by the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sport Development, would give para-athletes the opportunity to exhibit their talent in various sports. According to him, the event will also serve as an avenue for scouts to shop for talent that could be groomed for Paris 2024 Paralympic Games. Adewusi also said that the country's para-sport had produced the highest number of medals for the country since Nigeria started participating in the Games. He added that para-sports had contributed immensely to reduction of young people with special needs roaming the streets. The Sports Council chairman listed para-table tennis, para-swimming, wheelchair, basketball, powerlifting, deaf sports, para-athletics, and para-canoe as the event in which the team would participate at the Games. Nine-time African champions, Nigeria, will clash with reigning Olympic champions, Canada, in two friendly matches that will hold over 3 days in cities of Vancouver and Victoria City. Ademola Olajire, Director of Communications at the Nigeria Football Federation, that is NFF, who disclosed this in a statement on Wednesday, said both matches will take place on Friday in Vancouver and on Monday in Victoria City. Canada's women's national team are the reigning Olympic champions, having won the gold medal at the Olympic Women's Football Tournament in Tokyo in August 2021. They had beaten Sweden on penalty kicks following a 1-1 draw after regulation and extra time in the gold match. On their part, the Super Falcons have won the Africa title 9 times and recently qualified for the 2022 Women's Africa Cup of Nations, that is AFCON finals, holding in Morocco in July. This was after a 3-0 aggregate win over Côte d'Ivoire in February. Olajire said the NFF had organized the 2-match tour against the Olympic champions as part of the Super Falcons' preparation for the 12th Women's AFCON in Morocco. Following the second leg matches of the World Cup qualifiers, Algerian and Egyptian Football Federation had referred their case to the Federation of International Football Association, that is FIFA. The Algerian Football Federation, that is FAF, had said the appeal it lodged with FIFA to request a replay against Cameroon will be heard on April 21. Following the second leg fixture, the Phoenix lost on March 23 on what it called outrageous refereeing decisions. According to reports, a FIFA verdict is also expected on April 21, and many Algerian supporters are still hopeful their squad may have a chance to play in the 2022 Qatar World Cup. Senegal may also face sanctions after Egyptian Football Federation, that is the EFF, filed a complaint against it for violence and racism. Photos on social media showed broken windows of bus carrying the pharaohs, insulting banners against Mohamed Salah, as well as Senegalese fans terraced making derogatory gestures to the Egyptian players. Speaking to reporters, a FIFA official said the body was in the process of analyzing the official match reports of the FIFA World Cup qualifier match before taking any further move. And that's sports news on Africa Today. Back to Uduak Daniel for the rest of the news.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. And that was Boss Lubem with Sports News. That's Africa Today, but before we go, here are the headlines again. We told you federal government establishment of 12 private universities. We also told you ex-President Kabore released from house arrest. We brought to the fore the fact that EU court rules in favor of Mubarak family on asset freeze. And on sports, we brought to you the fact that Super Falcons face Olympic champions in Canada in 2 friendlies. Remember to visit us on Facebook at Hills TV, Instagram at Hills TV. Our YouTube channel is at Hills TV. I am Uduak Daniel. Thank you for watching.